So I was reading this essay this week, and I thought, I want to share this with you. It says, within the last few decades, since the complete triumph of industrialization, the image of our Earth's surface has been entirely altered and rearranged. Every city and landscape in the world has suffered monstrous change, and a corresponding revolution has swept through the souls and minds of us. The ideals and fictions, the dreams and wishful thoughts, the mythologies and theories that dominate our spiritual lives have been transformed completely. Things by nature irreplaceable have been lost and destroyed forever. Unimaginable novelties are dreamed up in their place. Demolished and lost for the larger part of the civilized world are above all the two foundations of all orderly living: culture and ethics. Religion and morality. Our lives are entirely lacking in propriety. There is no longer the traditional, established, unwritten agreement about what is proper and decent behavior between human beings. And that was written in 1926. And you could see that it was could have been written in 1865. And it could have been written after the Revolutionary War. And it could have been written, and it could have been written, and it could have been written. I understand there are a lot of transformations going on right now. Just set aside your politics. There's a lot of change going on. But it's not new. It's not new. There's constant change going on. There's always people saying, I can't believe this is happening. I don't recognize the world around me. What is going on? This is not new. These are the tides of life. Change happens. And we've talked about that a lot lately, haven't we? We've talked about change a lot. We talked about that Buddhist master who basically boiled Buddhism down to the phrase, everything changes. Which is to say that impermanence is just the way things are. You can leave that open, Dar. Thanks very much. Everything changes. Right? So when we say it should stay the same. I want things to stay the same. It shouldn't be this way. Why is that person changing? I liked the way they were. Why is my body changing? I like the way it was. Why is this government changing? I like the way it was. Let's go back, right? We're never going to go back and bring the past into the future or the present, nor do we want to. We're always moving forward, but there's always change, and it's when we try and claw and cling and say it's going to be the same, it's going to be the same, that's when we suffer, right? We talked about the Chinese farmer, right, who people said, oh, isn't this terrible? And she said, maybe so. I changed it to a she. And people said, oh, isn't this great? And she said, maybe so. Right? So how do we get to this point where we can just say, hey, everything changes? Hey, maybe so. Right? When there's so much going on out there that seems so different, how do we get to that point where we can just be, I'm chill. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing joy today. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Because we know here in Science of Mind that it's not about what's out there defining who I am and what I think and what I feel and how I act. It's about what's right in here. It's about what I know to be the truth. And when I center myself within what I am, out there can react to me. So I'm not worried about navigating the tides of life. As I said, the tides of life better worry about navigating me. Right? We will figure out what life is going to be, and we will set our intentions, and we will make life what we want it to be. So a few days ago, I like to tell little stories about my 4-year-old boy named David. And I was in the shower, and David came running into the bathroom, and he shut out the lights, and he howled with laughter and shut the door. And I could do two things, right? I can say, hey, David, turn that light on. right? But then he's going to think he's in trouble. Then he's going to think he did something wrong. And quite frankly, that's a good one. At any time of life, turning the lights out when someone's in the shower is funny. It's good. I want him to. I was standing there like, I am so proud of you. You're 4 years old and you came in here and shut the lights off and left me naked in the dark. That is such a good one. And you know what? I take a shower every day. I don't know about the rest of you, but I like to take a shower every day. I know where the soap is. The water's coming. I can turn the water off. I know where my towel is. I can do it in the dark. I'm good. You know, we talked about everything changes except for God. And we talked about the fact that we are expressions of God. And so we, the truth of what we are, is also changeless. Right? What is susceptible to change is bound to change. What is susceptible to illness will become ill. What is susceptible to death is going to die. That's all there is. But I'm never going to die. This body's going to die. Could be in the next 5 minutes. It's fine. Because I'm never going to die. I am eternal. What I am is eternal. So I'm not worried about what's going on out here. And I know that out there right now in America, there is one side that is saying, I am afraid of the changes that you people want to make. And there's another side that's saying, well, I am afraid of the changes you want to make. And they say, well, I'm going to resist you. Well, I'm going to resist you. Well, I'm going to fight you. Well, I'm going to fight you. And tell me what good this does. Somebody in those groups has to say, I am not afraid. I am not afraid. This morning, I woke up and I went into stillness and I meditated and I remembered who I am. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am harmony. And that is what I intend to see in the world. And because I make that decision and that choice, that is what I see in the world. You all can play your game. And don't tell me that I'm part of the problem because I'm not part of your solution. I'm not playing your game. Glenn sent me a text this week. It was a little quote from the Quran, and I'm not going to get it right, but basically someone asks Muhammad, peace be upon his name, that how do you help the oppressor and the oppressed? And obviously we know how to help the oppressed. How do you help the oppressor? And the answer was, you make it so that the oppressor can't oppress. And we don't go out and stop the oppressor from doing what they do. We become the one who cannot be oppressed. Right? When Martin Luther King Jr. and everybody walked across that bridge in Selma, they knew that people were going to come with batons. They knew they were going to be hurt. But could they be oppressed? Did they stop or did they walk across the bridge? They walked across the bridge. They weren't going to be oppressed. They said, you don't have power over me. What you're trying to do is tell me that you have power over me. What you're trying to do is get me to fit in the box that you want me to fit into, and I'm not going to play that game. I know who I am, and I'm walking across the damn bridge. I talked about that movie Gandhi, where he's burning the bus passes because they wanted to treat the Indians like third-class citizens. And they burned those bus passes. And there was the police with their batons, and they said, you do it, we're going to beat you. And he did it, and they beat him, and he kept doing it. And they kept beating him, and he kept doing it. That's not fighting. That's standing and saying, I know who I am. I know what I am. I know what my power is, and you are not going to tell me what my power is. We know in science of mind there is one power. There's one thing in this world, that is God. There is one power in this world, that is God. The power is love. The power is peace. The power is joy. The power is harmony, oneness, wholeness, health, abundance. There is enough for all at this table. Come on in. We have those down times, those times when we feel like I'm having a crisis of faith and I'm suffering. We're human beings. I want you to remember that there is beauty in suffering. I want you to remember that when you suffer, you know that this is how you grow. This is how we grow, right? When we suffer, we say, I want something better. I want to remember who I am. I've been doing this daily practice and I feel so good, and now I'm suffering. I want what I had before. I want that goodness. I'm going back to that goodness. I'm going to go within. I'm going to seek out who I am, and I'm going to get rid of this suffering, and my roots are going to grow deep. And my strength is going to grow. My roots are going to begin to intertwine with the roots of others, and we are going to be strong together. And when the next storm comes, yeah, we're going to blow around, but we're not going to be quite so afraid. So once there were ups and downs, there's still ups and downs now, but they're like this. They're like this. And so it's okay. If we're suffering, that's all right, because we're heading towards the light. We're heading towards growth. We need to be shaken up occasionally. Because when we're in our joy, when we're in the light, that is a great thing. But when we're in the light, we're not thinking, you know what, I need to grow my faith. We don't do that when we're standing in the light. We're like, this is great to be in the light. I love it. I love it. And that's great too. But when the darkness comes, because we have practiced and practiced and practiced on a daily basis, when the darkness comes, we know where the soap is. We know where the water is. We know where the towel is. We can do it in the dark, right? We know what we're doing, and that is why having that practice every day is so, so important. That we come and we sit, we get quiet, we get still, and we listen for that still small voice within. That we remember who we are, that we surrender, that we don't keep saying, it shouldn't be this way, it shouldn't be this way. We say, it is this way. I have fought, and I got tired, and now I'm going to give up. I'm going to surrender. I'm going to accept what is. I'm going to give up this fight and remember who I am. I'm love. I am wholeness. I am one with everything. I'm one with that one thing. And when I'm in that peace, when I'm in that joy, then I can go out and I can march across that bridge with faith and certainty. And when they come at me, come at me. Come at me. Because I know who I am. And when we know that everything is okay, that's how we go out and meet the world. Not the world comes and meets us, but we go out and meet the world. We are the face of love in the world. We are that thing that everyone sees and says, maybe I am tired of playing this game because I see this person right here, and this person is happy. This person is joyous. This person is loving. This person seems to not struggle all the time, seems to not be going through the ups and downs that the rest of us are going through. I got to find out what's going on with that person, because everyone that I talk to is, and I've had it. I'm done with that. I want some of that. That's what we can be for the world. We can be the light. We can be the way. We are the beloved. We are the chosen. So when we say we are one with Spirit, let us mean that we are one with Spirit. When I say I am love, I mean I am love.